Pokemon Snap is a nostalgic memory for many people. Released during the height of Pokemania, it was the first console Pokemon game released overseas, and the first time outside of anime that we'd seen a world for Pokemon outside of battling. The game inspired a similar feature in Sun and Moon, but we were still left unsatisfied with nothing else quite like the original. That is, until the recent announcement of an entirely new title. So, here's 5 things you need to know about Pokemon Snap. If you think about it, Pokemon Snap is a weird game, and it came out during the early days of 3D, where a lot of new genres were being created. But even with that said, Snap was particularly unique. The game's director, Koji Inoukuchi, was in a weird place midway through development. Are they really going to be making a game where you just take pictures? Nothing exists like that. He wasn't the only one. Shigeru Miyamoto was supervising the project as producer and would take trips from Kyoto to Tokyo. And apparently, back in Kyoto, Nintendo staff were pretty cynical about some picture-taking game. But despite the cynicism, the uncharted territory was also exciting for the team, and judging by how beloved it is today, they made the right call. That said, Pokemon Snap wasn't originally going to be a Pokemon game at all, and instead was something called Jack and the Beanstalk. This was actually pretty common. Games at Nintendo would start with the concept, and then at some point, Nintendo IP would be added. Like how Smash Bros. Was originally called Dragon King, and how Miyamoto's tower defense game Project Guard became a part of Star Fox Zero. Although, there was at least one designer on Jack and the Beanstalk who was particularly miffed that his work wasn't going to show up in the game. The Pokemon Company is a joint investment between 3 different companies: Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures. But when we talk about them, we're often just focusing on Nintendo, the console makers and publishers of the Pokemon games, and Game Freak, developers of those main titles. But Creatures is an essential part of every title, including Snap. This is because of their modeling team, who were early innovators of 3D for Nintendo properties. The team was established by Iwata and his colleagues to deal with the fact that they had 3 upcoming 3D Pokemon games coming out: Stadium, Snap, and Hey You Pikachu. Thanks to their hard work, Snap was populated with a load of different kinds of Pokemon. Fans have been clamoring for a new title for a while, but in an interview with Game Central, series director Junichi Masuda said that for there to be a new game, it would have to have a very unique twist, and couldn't just be the same thing again. This statement confused a lot of people, because the Wii U gamepad felt like it could have been a unique twist, as did the Nintendo Labo VR headset. But I guess, even if it took 20 years to figure out, it's finally happening. The new game is being created by Bandai Namco Studios, a team with a very unique relationship with Nintendo. Normally, this development team will only make games for their publisher and parent company, Bandai Namco, but they make very specific exceptions for Nintendo, where they'll make Pokken Tournament or Smash Bros. Ultimate for them. And now, they're doing Pokemon Snap. It's possible that this is just because they did such a good job with Pokken Tournament, but it's also possible that the original director might make a return. See, Koji Inoukuchi, who I mentioned earlier, now works at Bandai Namco as a planner. If not returning as a director, it'd be great to see what ideas he's had over the last 2 decades. Thanks for watching OTAQUEST in Japan. Feel free to subscribe to find out more about the art and creation of Japanese pop culture.